Hi there folks, and welcome to the word solutions for this week's The Daily Rigour, issue number 198. So probably in all 198 editions of the Daily Rigour, this is probably the most disgusting news story that we've ever had. So half of British adults in a survey admitted taking their phone with them into the toilet. What a disgusting habit to have. So a further 16% admitted taking their tablets with them to a company as if the screen in their phone wasn't big enough. So what is this proportion of the poll is a fraction? So it's 16%, so to make it a fraction we do 16 out of 100, but of course fractions should always be written in their simplest form, so believe it or not we can divide top and bottom by 4 here. So 16 divided by 4 is 4, and 100 divided by 4, when we half it and half it again, we get 25. So the fraction we were looking for was 4 out of 25. So 4% of the poll are accompanied by a games console. I mean, unbelievable stuff, isn't it? Anyway, say no more about that. So what is this proportion as a decimal? So to change a percentage back into a decimal, we divide by 100. So we'll just move the 4 units down 2 place values and it will become 400ths. So it will be 0.04. So the poll found that 4/5 of the adults who take their mobile phone to the toilet had actually dropped it down there. Surprise, surprise. So what is the total percentage of British adults in the poll who have dropped their phone down the toilet? Okay, so basically 4/5 of half of the people in the survey are who've dropped their phone down the toilet. But if we have to double this half to get the total number of people in the survey, which would mean it would be half the fraction of the quantity. So basically 4/5 of half the survey is actually going to be 2/5 of all the people in the survey. And now we need to change 2/5 into a percentage. Well, 1/5 is 20% because 20 goes into 100 5 times. So 2/5 is double 20%, which is 40%. So moving swiftly on, so British pensioner is officially world's oldest man. So he celebrated his 112th birthday last Sunday. So what was his date of birth? Well, obviously we have to get the date that it was on Sunday first of all. So we go back 7 from the 5th of April, remembering that March has got 31 days in it. So that's going to be the 29th of March. And to get his year of birth, we just do 2020, take away 112 because he's had his birthday this year. So that'll give us 1908. So remember things like the Titanic sunk in 1912. So a really long time ago. So the man describes himself, for your information, as no one special, he just happened to live a very long time. So hopefully this will get rid of some of the lockdown boredom, so you can get a friends themed Guess Who game. So for the characters, I don't know if you know how the game works, people have to give clues and you eventually whittle it down until you can actually guess who the character is. So for the characters shown, what is the probability that you would guess a character at random whose first name starts with the letter M? So we need to get all the people whose first name starts with letter M. So if your eyesight's really good, you can see that that's Mike Hannigan. So there's one. None of the other visible names start with an M, but we've got 3 characters up the top, and we've actually got Carol, Ross's ex-wife. That doesn't start with an M. We've got Janice, and we've got Monica, so there's another one that starts with an M. So you've got 2 chances of getting a character whose first name starts with an M out of the total number of people here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you've got a 2 in 10 chance, but again, like the first question here, fractions have always got to be written in their simplest form. So if we divide top and bottom by 2, 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So you've got a fifth of a chance of getting a character whose first name starts with the letter M. And of course, probability, where possible, should always be written as a fraction in its simplest form. So is it more likely to guess a character starting with R or J? You must give a reason for your answer. So let's do the probability of the name starting with R first. So we've got Ross, we've got Rachel, and we've got Richard. So that's 3 chances of that out of, and we already said that there's 10 people. So the probability of starting with J, so we've got Jack Geller, Ross and Monica's dad, but we've also got Janice, even though the name is covered. So you've got a 2 in 10 chance. So which one's more likely? Well, the one with the highest probability. So that will be the name of people starting with R. So you've got a higher chance that their name will start with R. Since 3/10 is greater than 2/10, that would be the mathematical reason for your answer. But of course, I've just changed them to decimals here, probably just to make it fit into this space. So 0.3 is greater than 0.2. Okay, so on to our last story. We don't normally feature enough expressive art stuff, so this was well worth reporting on. So a painting by Vincent van Gogh has been stolen from the Singer-Laren Museum in the Netherlands. And the painting is rectangular in shape and measures 25 centimetres by 57 centimetres. So part A, what is the perimeter of this painting? So it's a rectangle, so to get the perimeter P, we need to add up all the sides. So we've got a 25, so this is the picture of the painting here, so presumably that would be 25. We're going to add on the bottom one, which is 57, but we need to go all the way around, so that's another 25, and then another 57, and that's going to give us 164. Now perimeter is just a length, so that means your units are going to be centimetres. So part B, the area of the painting, so it's a rectangle, and to get the area of a rectangle we do length times breadth, so it's going to be 25 times 57, which gives us 1425. But basically, because area is essentially just counting squares, we need squared units, so that'll be centimetres squared. So that was our word solutions for this week's The Daily Rigour. We hope you enjoyed solving the problems as much as we did writing them, and stay tuned folks for next week's edition when we're going to be looking at more stories from the news of the week and the numbers behind them. But in the meantime, thanks for watching and bye for now.